How real is Seth Rogen's The Studio? Hollywood execs expose the truth. Is Seth Rogen's The Studio just a hilarious Hollywood parody? Or is it actually telling us the raw truth about what goes on behind studio doors? With 23 Emmy nominations and a star-studded cast, the Apple TV Plus series has become a pop culture talking point. But insiders say the story might be closer to reality than most people think. The truth inside the comedy. At the heart of The Studio is Matt Remick, a film executive torn between making great movies and chasing blockbuster profits. That conflict? Totally real. Seth Rogen himself admitted he modeled the character on a real executive he knew, someone constantly battling between artistic passion and commercial pressure. Hollywood veterans confirm this struggle. Sony's Tom Rothman even admitted that every episode hides what he called a kernel of brilliant, blinding truth. The love of cinema is always there, but so are endless obstacles: money, branding, and corporate expectations. That's exactly the tightrope Remick walks on screen, where the show gets a little too real. Remember the subplot about a Kool-Aid movie? As absurd as it sounds, marketing pressures like that really exist. Insiders say brand executives often sit in on greenlight meetings, pushing products and intellectual property before artistry. The show exaggerates the comedy, but the influence of marketing on creative choices is undeniably true. The endless meetings, strange power plays, and executives worrying more about numbers than storytelling? People in the industry say they've seen all of it, which explains why so many watching the series have whispered that actually happened, where it's exaggerated. Of course, not everything on The Studio is a perfect mirror. Rothman pushed back, saying most days executives aren't bumbling fools or morally compromised villains. In his words, much of the satire is, quote, horsed. While the comedy thrives on exaggerating dysfunction, he insists most studio execs genuinely care about movies and do their best to protect creative voices. And while the show's single-take tension and star-filled meltdowns make for great TV, real studio meetings are usually slower, more calculated, and far less dramatic. The chaos is dialed up to keep audiences laughing and cringing. Why it works so well. So why push things so far? Because satire isn't about literal truth, it's about emotional truth. Rogen and co-creator Evan Goldberg wanted to exaggerate real Hollywood absurdities to expose them. From absurd cameos to long, awkward meetings, the comedy works because audiences recognize just enough reality underneath the chaos. The brilliance of The Studio is that it blurs the line between parody and truth. Viewers laugh at the madness, while insiders wince because they know parts of it really happen. That tension is what makes the show so addictive and why it's become one of the most talked about series this award season. Conclusion. So, how real is The Studio? The answer is real enough to sting, exaggerated enough to entertain. It may not be a documentary, but it does shine a light on the very real tug-of-war between art and commerce that defines Hollywood. Now the real question is, do you think studio execs are more like Matt Remick, torn and flawed? Or do you think real Hollywood is calmer, safer, and a lot less dramatic? Let me know what you think in the comments.